they're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front, and I hope everyone is having a blessed night. I believe today is what is today? Shit. Wait a second. That's embarrassing, bro. My bad. I gotta get that checked out, bro. I be going through the days without knowing the date. Today is Wednesday. Okay. Anyway, I didn't even know that. Okay. I thought today was Thursday for some reason. But anyway, hope you're having a blessed day. Tycho, how you doing, my guy? How's my mic sounding, Tycho? Hey, man, listen. I just want to say, I've never, ever been so excited to see Devin Haney fight or hear that he's going to fight. One of my favorite topics to talk about is Devin Haney. And look, man, I don't know if you saw earlier today with Brian Norman Jr., Brian Norman Sr., right? It's a good fight. And you know what? All looks like it's gonna happen. It looks like it might actually be taking place. And I let me start with that. I've always said, I don't think Devin will avoid people when it comes to like a contract or anything. I've never seen him avoid anybody in that sense. I give him credit with that. I've always have. If you give him he's not the ducking type as far as like actual signing the contract. He doesn't do it often. You could probably pick or choose a couple times here or there, but for the most part, the kid will sign the dot. He'll show up. He'll make weight. You got to give him that. It's what happens after that is what I. It's what happens after that is where I usually am like, okay, there's a little disconnect here, But as far as like him actually fighting, he'll fight you. Like I give that to Devin. I've always have. I think right now it's important to understand that he needs a fight. He needs a fight right now. He's in a how should I say this? Devin is in a weird situation in his career right now. And because of the fact that he needs a fight, and it would be a good fight, this would be a fight that would put him back on the map, to be honest. And the issue is until the fight is actually happening and everything, as I saw Bill and Brian Norman Sr. talking earlier today, all in all, it looks good. Looks like, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far too often I see this and I'm like, I start getting excited. I'm like, oh yeah, let's break the fight down. And then something happens next week. You know what I mean? But it looks like it's going to be happening. And that is a fight I wouldn't mind seeing because I kind of know what's going to happen. This is very interesting. And I'm going to tell you why it's so interesting. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. Number one, I think the public thinks that Devin won't fight Brian Norman Jr. I disagree. I think he will show up. I think he will sign the contract. I think he will make weight. That's not the issue I've ever had with Devin. The issue I have is what happens when that bell rings. When that bell rings, what are we going to see? And I don't know if you saw earlier with him on the Boxing Voice, but Bill Haney said something that kind of had my head scratching. He said something, and Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney, all right, we're talking today, and I don't know if you guys saw what happened. Bill says something to did you see that, by the way, Tycho? Did you see that? Did you see Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney talking today? And did you see what happened? Brian Norman Sr. No. Yeah, no, that's not the part I'm talking about. I'm going to show you the part. So they were both talking, right? They're both talking. Nesta's in the middle, right? Nestor Gibbs is in the middle doing his aerobics type shit or whatever the hell he be doing. I don't know. What is he doing? And by the way, is he exercising? Like, what is Nestor Gibbs doing? Like, anyway, it don't matter. He be doing some weird shit, bro. He be doing some weird shit. He be talking, and then like while these guys are talking, he's moving back and forth in his office. And I don't know if he's it's a walking pad. That's what it is. Okay. I have one of those. It's actually like a treadmill anyway. But anyway, it's important to understand that Nestor Gibbs is in the middle, right? He's in the middle. He's talking to Brian Norman Sr. And they're talking about the fight, right? And they're talking about having the contract signed and everything. And before I get it later on, I'm gonna show you something that happened last night that I found hilarious, right? So Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr., they're both on the panel. They're both talking, right? And Bill Haney's like, bro, you gonna sign that, right? And Brian Norman Sr. is like, bro, like almost like you're not insinuating, like in so many words, like you're not insinuating that we're scared of your son. You know what I mean? Like, and Bill's like, no, sign it, right? But and I'm watching this, and something doesn't seem right. I'm like, damn, Bill's really itching for this dude to just say on camera that you signed it, right? So Brian Norman Sr. is smart. Okay, he's not stupid. He went through the whole spiel with Boots and everything. If you remember with Boots Ennis and everything, they were trying to get them. That whole thing came over money and everything like that, right? But if you remember, people were just they were yelling at Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. Sign it, right? And people need to understand. I'm not in the business like that. People have to understand, bro, that there's a contract and there's shit that you got to go over, right? There's shit that happens in the background, which is why when all these dudes be saying this crazy stuff, like, man, this guy ducked, and I'm like, ducked what? What did he duck? Show me. And they'll show me a person's tweet. Okay, they'll show me like Shadow Ghost saying, man, fuck Tycho. Tell Tycho I'll beat his ass. I'm like, bro, that's not a duck, bro. That's a dude talking shit. Like, I see that every day. I see a dude on the corner say, man, tell him when I see him, I'm gonna beat his ass. Bro, this is boxing, bro. There's contracts, there's stuff like that, right? So Brian Norman Sr.'s up on the panel, and he's like, Brian Norman Sr.'s like, he's like, yo, and I'm gonna show it to you, right? It's just a small clip, but he's like, Bill, if you sent me and my son something, we're good. And he's like, read between the lines, we're good. And what he's saying is, if you sent the contract over and everything's good, the money's good, you're not trying to lowball me, understanding that my son is the champ. Your son isn't the champ. He's not the A side. Just read between the lines. If everything in that contract is what you say it is, we're good. Meaning we're not going to duck Devin, bro. Right? And listen to what Bill Haney says. And when he says this, Brian Norman Sr. goes, yo, hey, yo, Ness, I'll be right back. Like, I got to read this shit. Right? Because it seems weird. If I told you, yo, just sign it, yo. Just, okay, I'm going to have my lawyer go over it. No, just sign it. Just sign it. Right? Look, tell me if this looks suspect to you. Let me show you. Tell me if this looks a little suspect to you. Okay, here it is. I want y'all to watch this, and I want you to tell me if you see anything weird here. Okay?
Do you know this? Do you know what size the ring is? I'm just curious to know for the game plan.
It's the size.
You ain't gonna tell me that?
Size, no, it's the size that we're gonna run circles around you in. Now, listen,
Okay.
let me ask you this though. So,
we good on our end. We good. We're good. We're good on our end. We good.
So you agree to are good.
Okay,
so
that means you signed it. That does mean you signed.
Wait. It doesn't mean you signed. It doesn't have to mean you didn't say that. But you agreed to everything, and you're cool with everything that was sent over.
That means he done put some bullshit in there. That's why he's saying that. He done put some bullshit in there.
I'm asking you.
Come on,
I didn't look at it. I didn't look at the contract. I don't know. That means you know. I tell you what.
Phone. Get off. Y'all get off and go sign them contracts,
man.
I'm gonna hit you back. Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna call you back.
Wait. No. Hey, Dad, sign that motherfucker again. Sign it.
Now, did you see that? You see that? Brian Norman Jr. is like, hold on. Let me get off of here, bro. Let me get off of here and go look at that. Because it's suspect. It's suspect, my guy. Like, what do you mean? You know, you've been in boxing long enough to know that if you sent something good over to sign, right? And you know it's good, right? And I tell you, hey Tycho, I'm gonna have my lawyer look at it, man. Like if everything he said it 3 times. Brian Norman Sr. was like, bro, if everything is okay, if everything in that contract is if everything is legit, we good, bro. Don't worry about it. We're good. And Bill's like, no, sign it. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop playing these games, bro. Like, what is in that contract? And then Brian Norman Sr. brought up the ring. He said, hey, yo, what? He said, yo, what ring size is in that contract, bro? Because we know your son going to be running like a motherfucker, bro. Yo, and Bill Haney goes, the ring is the size for me and my son to run circles around. He literally says, run circles. Yeah, motherfucker, we know you're going to be running. We know. I know. You know. Your meat riders know. Everybody know. I want to see the fight. That's one fight I do want to see. I said, I don't want to see Devin versus nobody else but Brian Norman Jr. because he was talking all that shit, right? He said, and this is before he knocked out Sasaki and put him in the hospital, right? Devin talking all that shit, going back and forth, had that crazy ass hit list, had Boots on there and all these other crazy ass fighters, right? And I'm like, yo, okay, well, now he knocked out Sasaki, fight him, right? And so that's the fight that I want to see, right? And I want to see it for numerous reasons because number 2, like, look, I'm not going to lose all faith in Devin Haney. I'm not going to lose all faith in him. I mean, bro, this is boxing. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But for him to beat somebody like Brian Norman Jr., that kid's gonna have to come in looking like Pretty Boy Floyd, bro. Right? And one thing that I don't want to hear no more. I'm sick and tired of Bill Haney putting all of Devin's mistakes on himself. Oh no, I told him to fight like that. No, bro, let him grow up like a man, Bill. Let him grow up like a man. He's a man, okay? Even if you gave him a game plan, even if you told him to do something in the ring, right? The fighter, it's up to the fighter himself, him or herself, right? At some point in the fight to be like, this isn't working. I need to do something else. If I'm getting my ass whooped and you keep telling me to do something and I'm trying to do what you're telling me to do, and in me doing that, I keep getting clipped, bro, I'm not going to keep doing what you're telling me to do. Let's not forget, Bill Haney is the same guy that once Lomachenko started piecing up his son when Devin got back to the corner and said, Dad, he figured me out. Bill Haney said, yo, son, we knew this was going to happen, yo. Like, basically, in so many words, like, we knew this was going to happen. He doesn't tell him, hey, do this, do that, go to the body, counter with this, circle left, circle right. He tells him, we knew this was going to happen. Basically, we knew Lomachenko was going to figure you out at some point. So just deal with it. It is up there with the word. The only advice that is worse than that is when my guy, Teal Sr., told his son, let's go get ice cream. Those two are tied for the most absurd boxing advice to give any fighter ever. They're both tied. Telling your son, come on, knock him out. Let's go get ice cream. Or, Dad, he figured me out. Son, we knew that was going to happen. Just take the ass whooping. Just take the ass whooping. You gotta walk through the fire, son. Like, boy, what are we doing here, bro? No, you tell him to do something, right? But all in all, I've never said that Devin Haney won't actually sign a contract and show up. That I'll give him. It's what I'm going to see after. And what makes this so interesting, what makes a fight like this so interesting is the fact that they're saying it's going to be in Riyadh. I believe they're saying it's going to be in Riyadh, which means what? Which means Turkey is going to be paying for it, right? Which means Turkey is giving Devin Haney another chance. And we already know that Turkey is just, he's already made it clear that for now on, I know what I want. I want a motherfucker that's going to fight. If you're going to take a round off or two, that's fine. But you need to have a sort of offense that's going to be meaningful, right? And I don't want to see this for 12 rounds.
It's a big problem. But this performance of the night, boys, who's going to decide it? You decide?
Yeah.
And what will you be looking for?
Six figure.
Wow. Yeah. Jabbing, tactics with the rope, pressing in some round and some round rest. This is no problem. But if you give me for 12 rounds, chasing match. Thank you.
Well, Turkey, let me be the first to tell you, you're going to be disappointed once again, Turkey. I mean, I'm not a psychic. I'm not a psychic, nor am I perfect, nor do I get everything wrong in life. But I can tell you right now, the probability of Devin Haney running against someone like Brian Norman Jr., who's been putting people in the hospital. Brian Norman Jr. has been putting people in the hospital, bro. Straight up. Dudes have been getting their heads checked out. When this kid knocks you out, this kid knocks you out cold, bro. His last couple of knockouts, these guys have been staying on the floor for minutes, bro. For minutes. He's posing over people. He's just, and he's getting better. And he's getting better, bro. He's getting better. All in all, this is like a very important fight for Devin's career, because I still think Devin needs a fight. Devin needs a fight bad. Okay? You know, the truth is, not many people do want to fight him, and it's not for those reasons. It's not for like, oh, it's because it's gonna be difficult to fight somebody who doesn't want to engage, right? But Brian Norman Jr. has made it clear that, you know, I think he said something in the car the other day, or I saw him driving on a live, and he said something interesting. He said, "Look, man, I'm not a disrespectful person. I don't disrespect people's families. I'm just telling you right now, my job is to go in there and knock people out and put them in the hospital." And he said it so calmly, this kid. He said, bro, my job is to simply just knock people out and put them in the hospital. That is my sole purpose, bro. And this kid is dangerous, bro. And he's humble. And he's only getting better, bro. And he's got a good left hook. That left hook is like automatic. It's a check left hook, right? That's like Devin's like worst nightmare. That's Devin's worst nightmare. A left hook is Devin still wakes up at night sometimes. You know what I mean? But all in all, I applaud him for taking the fight. Like I said, I've never really thought of Devin as a scary fighter, like contract wise, which is why he's one of the most weirdest fighters I've ever. It's weird. What is the word? Like an enigma? Is that the word to use? Well, I don't know if I'm using the term correctly, but it's so weird. It's like I've never seen a fighter in my entire life where he's not afraid to fight you, as far as like, if you send him a contract, if you send him the right money, if you send him whatever, right, he'll be there. He'll show up. He'll have a nice training camp. He will make weight. He will do all these things, right? But then when that bell rings, he just acts like he doesn't want to be in there. It is so odd, and it is so weird. It's something that you can't figure out. This is something that you can't figure out. It just happens. It's a heart issue. It's a heart issue. And I saw Devin Haney in the gym with David Benavidez and all that other stuff, right? And you know, people think I'm hard on Devin, but really, I'm telling you my opinion with truth, bro. With truth. All right. His issue is not a skill issue. It's not a skill issue. Devin has skills. Devin is very athletic. Devin is very smart. His going to different gyms, finding a different trainer, fighting with all these other fighters, that's not going to help Devin. That's not his issue, bro. His issue is mentally in here. You could train him all day how to throw a correct punch, how to do this, how to do that. His last fight with Jose Ramirez, he fixed because one of the biggest things that Devin had an issue with, right, is leaving his hand down after he jabs. He'll jab, but he did it like like Floyd would get on him for, right? And Floyd and other people kept telling him, bro, this is the amateurs. You're jabbing like an amateur, right? If you fight somebody that has a check left hook or is going to take advantage of you dropping your hand, they're going to capitalize on that, right? Been said for years, right? Meets Ryan Garcia, boom, worst nightmare. We saw what happened, right? Next fight, he fixes that, which he did, which is why when the fight started, he came out in he didn't come out in the Philly shell. He came out in the regular stance, and right away, Antonio Tarver's like, "Hey man, what's wrong with his feet? His feet doesn't look right, right?" That's because he came out in the actual textbook stance where he was trying to keep his hands up. But once again, he didn't come to fight. I was like, it doesn't matter where you send this kid. It doesn't matter who he's with. It doesn't matter who he's training with. That shit is all abundant because it matters about what he's going to do inside the ring. I believe he wants to fight Brian Norman Jr., right? Because it's sort of like a last leg, like a last stance, bro. If Devin Haney was to fight Brian Norman Jr. and lose, it's so weird because when you look at this, hold on one second. Huh? Hey, Brian, Brian Norman Jr. a bad boy, bro. He a bad boy. Hey, he said this shit so humbly too in the car. You know how people talk shit, right? You know how people say, "Man, I'll put you in the hot." He ain't say it like that. He didn't say it like that. He was driving and he was like, "Look, man, I'm not a disrespectful person. I don't do all the really like disrespecting my opponents. I respect anybody that hops in the ring, but just to be honest with you, like my sole purpose in life is to knock people out and send them to the hospital." And he said it like real kind and shit. I'm like, bro, just leave that kid alone, bro. He's not playing. That kid is, and he's getting better. And he's getting better. And you know what I like about him? You could tell by his style and the way that he fights, he doesn't get discouraged easily. He doesn't. When he fought Santillan, right? I think it was Santillan, right? So Santillan was the guy that beat Alex Rocha, right? Alex Rocha was the one who knocked out Blair Cobbs. Blair Cobbs was undefeated. He had a little bit of hype to him, but he got destroyed on the zone. Blair Cobbs got beat up bad by Rocha, right? So Rocha was gonna be they were already talking about having Rocha versus Boots and Rocha versus possibly Virgil Ortiz or whoever. I think it was Boots at the time. I think it was targeted that. I think it was like Santillan was gonna fight Rocha, and then the winner was gonna fight Brian Norman Jr. And then I think the winner from that was supposed to fight Boots, right? And that's not what ended up happening. In actuality, it was supposed to go like this. It was supposed to be Blair Cobbs, right? Santillan, Blair Cobbs beating Santillan like this. And this is why a lot of the times when these promoters have these like Turkey, he found out the hard way, right? He put on a May 2nd card and already thought he had the endings all mapped out, right? In Turkey's mind, he thought, okay, T.O. is gonna beat Barboza, which he did, right? In his mind, he's thinking Devin's gonna beat Ramirez, right? But he's thinking he's not gonna have that performance. He's thinking he's gonna have a very good comeback, bounce back performance. Let's not forget, Jose Ramirez was put on a silver platter for Devin Haney. Stylistically perfect. He put it like that is stylistically for real. Devin was supposed to look like how when he fought I think it was Linares, right? Yeah, he was supposed to like sort of like just piecing him up on a silver platter. The dude is flat-footed. The dude is already coming off a couple losses. He's not in his prime no more. He's got to set his feet to throw punches. Like Jose Ramirez was like supposed to be a showcase for Devin Haney, right? And then Turkey thought that Ryan was gonna beat Rolly. He has it all mapped out, and none of that shit happened, right? And that's sort of similar with what was going on with Blair Cobbs, right? Blair Cobbs was supposed to beat Santillan. Then he was supposed to fight Rocha, right? And then they were planning on having Blair Cobbs fight Brian Norman Jr. and then Boots. So they already had all this mapped out. And what ended up happening is Blair Cobbs gets destroyed by Rocha. Rocha knocks him out, beats his ass, right? Next fight, Santillan beats Rocha. Right? Santillan beats Rocha. And then Santillan fought Brian Norman Jr. And people thought Santillan, since he beat Rocha, he's gonna beat Brian Norman Jr. and Brian Norman Jr. does one of the most devastating knockouts I think of last year, posed over him and everything, and then now you got Brian Norman Jr. that beat Sasaki, which by the way, Sasaki was a good fighter. I do not know why this is the damned if you do, damned if you don't community. It's the damned if you do. Like it's the boxing YouTube community, right? The YTBC YouTube boxing community, but really I call it the damned if you do, damned if you don't community, because a lot of the people, 90% of the people in this community are hypocrites and don't think about before what they say. They quick to tear somebody down, and I hate to say it, but a lot of them are American fans. A lot of them are American fans. And it's just pure hypocrisy, right? You see a person that, because they don't like a fighter, right, they're going to tear down his resume, right? Well, if you're going to tear down somebody's resume, then at least have receipts, go through the resume, right? Me, whenever I've went at Devin Haney, I've literally did lives where I've broken down why I feel that way. I don't just say something and then just unless I tell you, hey, that's how I feel personally, right? No, like we literally had lives where we went through the rehydration and talking about the fights he had in Mexico, which you can't find. And then we look at the context of how we got how we got undisputed, right? Because if you heard what Canelo said the other day, what Canelo said is facts when he was talking to Terrence Bud Crawford. It was complete facts what he said. He said to Terrence Bud Crawford, because Terrence Bud Crawford, he said, name me an elite fighter. And Terrence Bud Crawford goes, oh, what? Postal was an elite. Ricky Burns was an elite. And, Canelo's like, who? Like, who are they? Like, you need to understand there's a difference between a champion and an elite fighter. And that is so true, bro. That is so true. Just because you're a champion does not mean you are an elite fighter, because context of how you get that belt means everything. Context is everything. You can get a belt by getting elevated, right? Elevated. Boots got his belt from being elevated. Devin Haney got his belt, the WBC belt, because Loma became the franchise champion. When they made the franchise belt, right? And then, like I said, T.O. does all the heavy lifting, right? And loses to Kambosos on an off day. Now, you look at Kambosos, and anyone can see that Kambosos is a one-hit wonder, bro. He's a gatekeeper at best, bro. He's a gatekeeper at best. He will forever be known for beating Teofimo Lopez. And he's made the best of his career, too. I will tell you this, for a person that's only known for having one win, he's made a hella career off of that. A hella career. He's got a whole country backing him, of course. And he had I think what was it, Eddie Hearn? I think it was Eddie Hearn. So he's made the best out of it. But let's be completely honest here. The kids got one good win. One good win. He got they robbed Maxie Hughes, right? So he's not, I hate to say it, he's not a good fighter. He's nowhere close to being an elite fighter. He's not a great fighter. Kambosos is a B-level fighter. Well, Devin Haney is known for what? Being undisputed, the youngest. Who did he beat? Kambosos, right? And that's why Canelo said, just because you're a champion does not mean you're elite, bro. It matters about what you've done, because so many people have become champions. I saw today somebody tried to make Canelo out to be a duck, right? Somebody made Canelo out to be a duck, talking about why they think Crawford is going to knock out Canelo. And you know what he says? He brings up the fact that that Canelo never fought Jamar Charlo, and Canelo never fought Andre. And he says these two guys was the elite guys in their weight class. How can Andre be elite when he's never fought for a belt? How can he be elite? He never fought for a belt, bro. Once again, just because you're a champion doesn't mean you're elite, bro. It doesn't mean you're elite. So, for the most part, when I say what I say, is a lot of it is an opinion, but like I said, I show receipts for what I say and why I feel and why I feel. And besides, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the small amount of people that have a problem with the shit that I say, I could care less about them. It's the same handful of people, right? Like, why don't you say something to Turkey? Say something to Turkey. Let's not forget, this man is the one spending millions of dollars. You don't think the man that's spending millions of dollars should have something to say about how how exciting a fight should go, I think it means a lot. I think it should say a lot. And he even breaks it down in that interview where he's smart. Turkey's not dumb. Even with this broken English, Turkey is not dumb. He broke it down in the interview. He said, "Look, man, look. When I say I'm going to give a performance bonus, right? When I say I'm going to give a performance bonus, which is going to be 6 figures, I'm giving a fighter an incentive, knowing that if he goes to knock somebody out, he's going to get paid 6 figures, right? However, and you can go look back at it at the Ring magazine. He says, however, when I say no Tom and Jerry, understand what I mean. He's like, fight with a game plan. Use your jab, combinations, this and that. You want to take a round or 2 off? That's fine. He literally says that. He literally says, you want to take a couple rounds off? You need to regroup? Fine. You get hurt? You need to regroup? Fine. No problem. This is boxing. This is boxing. But when I see this for 12 rounds, one guy chasing another, this is no more. I will not pay for that. No more. And so he's pissed. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him, bro. I don't blame him, which is why I got no shame in saying what I say. No shame in what I say. I drop the link all the time when I'm here. The dudes that have a problem with me never show up, right? They hide behind an avatar. You know damn well when people say what they want to see, what people are talking about. Richardson Hitchens, perfect example of boxing, bro. I'm not even big on Richardson Hitchens. I'm really not. He's a good fighter. Richardson Hitchens is a good fighter. He stood there. Now, mind you, who did he beat? Kambosos, right? Kambosos, like I said. But he beat him. And he beat him properly. And he beat him the way that you should beat somebody, right? Stood his ground. Like, people make it seem like it's impossible for you to have good defense and win a fight. You could have good defense and win a fight, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to be evasive for 12 rounds. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep it a buck. Yeah, I saw it, bro. I saw it. Yeah, I saw them go back and forth. And then he was he was telling them about the contract and shit. Did you see when he said to him when Bill said to him, "Hey, just sign it. Just sign it." Hold on 1 second, bro. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. You see, because for now on, bro, you get nothing comes up on the screen from me. No more. Nothing comes up on the screen no more. You either come when I drop the link, pussy, and show your face, or you gone, you ban, you make another account, or you come back. That's how we doing this. I already told you. And y'all know who I'm talking to. You're pussy, bro. You're pussy. I spit on you. I don't even want you watching me. Why do you come back here? You really need to get yourself checked out. You know, most people, the trolls that come in, most people, they like that sometimes. And they're like, yo, these guys are supporters and stuff. I, time and time again, tell you, I don't like you. You pussy and bitch made. And you keep coming back here. So that really says a lot about you, bro. It really does. I'm telling you, I don't like you. And I don't want you to watch me. If I knew where your subscription was, if you were subscribed, I take it, smack the shit out of it, spit on it, and throw it out the fucking window. I told you I don't want you here, but you keep coming here. You need to get your shit checked out, bro. You really do. You really do. If you think I'm going to put any of y'all shit up on the screen, that shit is done, bro. You could come when I drop the link. You could do that. You could do that. Because most of y'all don't know boxing at all. And I'm talking to the ones that be saying the shit that they say to me, bro. You know what the fuck turkey mean, bro. All right? It ain't my fault you a Devin Haney meat rider. That's not my fault. That's your fault. Go watch BTFB. If you want to hear praise in the face of boxing and that's art, go over there. He'll give it to you $365 a year. You know what you're going to get when you come over here, bro. You know what you're going to get. Fighters earn my respect, bro. Fighters earn my respect. That includes people that I like too. It don't matter. You're going to earn. When I pay for a pay-per-view, I'm paying my hard-earned money. Because y'all don't have a job. Y'all don't pay bills. You still with the fire stick. That's why it don't matter to you. That's why it don't matter. And I don't think you are truly here to talk boxing. You fuck with people because your life is miserable. That's why. I won't entertain it no more. Yeah, man, my bad, Shelton, bro. Yeah, man, because you know why? You know why, Shelton? You know why? Because every time I say something about Devin Haney, right? It's like, first I try being respectful, right? I try being respectful. Then that shit ain't work, right? So then I'm like, all right, fine. Let me break it down why I feel the way I do, right? So then I go the respectful route of breaking it down respectfully. That shit don't work, right? So then it just gets to a point where I'm like, eat a dick. Like, I don't gotta be nice, bro. I don't have to be nice. Like, I say this 1,000 times. You don't have to come here. It's like going to a restaurant. You don't like the food, but your dumb ass keep going back there. Whose fault is it? Why are you mad at me? Let me ask you. Why are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me when you clicked the fucking phone to be here? Why? That's why I get mad. Shelton, that's why. That's why. Because they're low-key fans. But see, I'm not like other channels. I don't want those type of motherfuckers, bro. I don't want them. I don't like them. Those are the guys that I avoided. Like, you know, growing up, you know, when you grow up and you're like, man, there's something about this guy that I don't like. You just get a vibe, right? Whether they rode the short bus or the Riri bus, and you're like, I don't know if I trust this guy, right? So you just say, you know, respectfully, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to him. He keeps coming up to you. Hey, maybe we can hang out sometimes. Nah, I'm pretty good, man. I'm good, right? I know we've all been in those situations. Did they do anything to you personally? No. You just don't like them. They're just not your type of people, right? Or whatever. You just get a bad feeling, right? But he just keeps following you. He keeps following you. But then not only does he follow you, but then he wants to criticize how you live your life. Motherfucker, I told you I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't want you here. You keep coming back here. So yeah, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. And I'm going to keep doing that too. And I already told these dudes that the more I know they don't like what I'm doing, that is exactly what I'm going to continue to do. If they come in here and they say, I don't like it that you're talking about Devin, motherfucker, you just ignited a switch. I'm going to talk about him for a week now. Yeah, bro, they ain't never pay a bill in their life, bro. Never pay a bill in their life. You know what yo, that shit was loud, bro. Wow. Did y'all hear that, bro? Yo, that shit is loud, bro. And it's about to go bad, man. I think my internet might cut out, bro. That shit was loud. Yeah, man. Nah, it is what it is, man. You know, and then what really frustrated me at one point is if you don't like what I say, I dropped a link and anyone is welcome. That's what really upsets me. That's how I know you're not here for boxing. That's how I know. That's how I know. Because if you really didn't like what I said, right? Think about it. You're an adult. At least I don't know if you are or not. But if you didn't like what I said, and I go and I say, I'm going to drop the link, right? That is your opportunity to click the link and come on here and explain to me, hey, Shadow, you know, I think you've been being unfair to Devin Haney. Or Shadow, you know, I disagree with that, right? But no, they can't even debate or have, it's not even a debate to me, really, because it's not challenging, but you could come on and speak your frustration or say something, but you don't. You don't. You wait until it's after over, or you try to say something. And then some of these dudes actually send me emails on my channel. They send me emails. And I'm like, bro, you guys are weird, man. You're weird. So I've gotten to the point where I take the disrespectful route now, bro. I take the disrespectful route. Like, I don't know how clear I got to make it. I don't like y'all. So one last time, I don't like you. So just know, every time you watch me, that means that you eat a dick. How about that? There you go. So if you're still watching me, that's on you. You're choosing to do that. That's probably the wrong thing to say, because they probably like that naturally. So no, it's we got some type of bad storm out there. It's like a really bad storm. But anyway, hold on. Hey, Shelton, I'm glad to see that you're here, brother. Hey, yo, I know you're a good Crawford. Like, you like Crawford, right? Hey, look, man, I was thinking about it the other day. Look, man, Crawford, I think if anybody could do it, is Crawford. But when I really look at the grand scheme of things, right? The man is taking off that's a lot, right? And I do feel like something is going to happen in the background. Like, I think the fight itself is natural. I do not think that Canelo is taking any type of money to do a fix, nor is Crawford. That is the last thing I expect from any one of those two guys. They are both stand-up guys. Crawford is a gym rat, right? Doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, right? So he's a rarity in the sense that I look at him like how I would look at Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, right? In the sense that their body, right? So what I mean is, if you're 37, right? If he's 37, really, he's as healthy as some of these guys that are walking around that's like 31, 32, that in between camps, they're blowing up, they're going to the club, they're drinking, they're smoking, right? They're not living the so-called boxer's lifestyle, right? So Crawford has a lot of things going for him, but so does Canelo. Like, it's almost like the same thing, you know? Like, this man has lived boxing, right? And for anything that you criticize Crawford on, you got to look at the same for Canelo, right? If you sit there, and I'm not saying you do this, Shelton, but I see so many people often do this. They look at how he went to 168, right? And they make it seem like, you know, well, he went there because that's the easiest. Bro, in professional boxing, no division is easy, bro. The fact that a fan could sit there and say that shit is easy is kind of remarkable, bro. Terrence Buck Crawford said, you know, sometimes he doesn't read the comments, right? He doesn't read the comments because he's like, some of the stuff they're saying, he's like, they just don't know. And he said this during the Errol Spence buildup. Terrence Buck Crawford said, you know, and I notice this in boxing a lot, but just sports fans in general, they talk so much shit. Like, they'll say, and this is back then, he said, you know, they'll say, oh, look, Tom Brady threw 4 interceptions. But I guarantee you, the person saying that can't take the football and throw it 45 yards. Right? So, you know, this is professional boxing, bro. And for you to be undisputed in any weight division is hard, right? Now, Terrence Buck Crawford's done it 2 times. Then he moves up to 154. Madrimov was not an easy fight, right? So Crawford obviously is a Hall of Famer. But, bro, you're going to go from 147 to 154 to 160 to 168, and there's no rehydration clause, Shelton. That is a lot, bro. That is a lot. That's a lot. And I saw Bomac say that they're training for 15 rounds, right? What I found interesting was when Crawford and Canelo were talking, right? And they've been doing, I will say this, bro. I like the promotion for this fight. Like, there is no way when that fight comes, the whole world's going to be watching that fight, bro. and it's on Netflix. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be buffering. I know for a fact Netflix is going to be buffering. But when they asked Crawford, how are you training for Canelo? He was honest. He was honest. He said, yo, to be honest with you, we don't have anybody that fights like him, right? So the only thing that I can do is pick a bigger fighter and have someone come forward or whatever. And then Bomac says, you know, we're training for 15 rounds, right? But that's not the same. That's not the same as an actual fight, man. I just think Bud Crawford is going to find out towards the later half of the fight. But if anyone could pull it off, it's Bud, bro. It's Bud. But getting back real quick to the whole Devin Haney and Brian Norman thing, that's a good fight. It's a fight that I want to see. It's a fight that I want to see. If Devin Haney could redeem, bro, if you want a way to redeem yourself with the boxing public, beat Brian Norman Jr. Beat Brian Norman Jr. That is a tall order. I'm going to be completely honest in what I say here, bro. I don't think he's fighting him because he think if I got to say if, because like I said, when I started the video, when I started the live, if you go back, you'll see Brian Norman Sr. and Bill talking on the Boxing Voice, right? And they're talking about the contract, right? And Bill is telling him, hey, just sign it. Just sign it, right? And Brian Norman Sr. is telling him, look, man, if you sent me an actual contract, right? If everything in that contract is good, if it's good, the money is good. And then he said, read between the lines, right? So it's like, yeah, read between the lines. Like, Devin isn't a champion, right? He's not a champion, so he's not going to be the A side, bro. He's not. And I'm glad this is happening because I feel like if you win a belt, that shit should mean something, bro. It should mean something. Like, that's why boxing turned into what it was. Like, you literally had Ryan Garcia at one time saying, I don't care about belts. Why? Because he was able to sell and do things without actually having a title. Now, I get it. He's Ryan Garcia, right? But as a boxing fan, bro, I see a dude moving up the ranks and I see somebody get a belt. Like, that should mean something. That should mean something. You should want a belt. You should want legacy. That's what you want. And once you get a belt, you should get paid more. And that should be a bargaining chip when you do contracts, bro. That's what it's there for, in my eyes at least, right? So when he's telling Bill Haney, yo, if everything is all right, read between the lines, he's telling him, like, yo, the money, as long as the money is good, and as long as you're not trying to throw no shenanigans in there, we good. We good. And Bill over there like, yo, just sign it. Yo, just sign it. And that, oh, yo, HOD, I'm glad you here. Yo, I got a clip for you, brother. I got a clip for you. Where were you yesterday? What channel were you on yesterday? I got something to show you. I'm going to show everybody, but I was waiting for you to pop up. Where were you yesterday? And bro, I'm not, I know you're here to argue with what I say. I'm asking you a question. Where were you yesterday? Was it Marco? You was on another channel and you mentioned BTFB in regards to Brian Norman Sr.? Do you remember what I'm talking about now? All right, look. To the contrary of what people may believe, bro, all day when I have time or I'm working or I'm doing something where I could listen to the phone, you was cooking. Bro, I cooking everywhere. You want to use some English there, HOD? Yeah, but where you was at, so you're telling me you was everywhere talking about BTFB? At what point were you saying when you mention BTFB? It's a simple question. If you don't know, then you don't know. I don't understand that answer. That answer looks kind of weird to me. You don't know where you were when you said something about the man? So I listen to everybody, bro. Everybody, right? Boxing Voice, anybody that's live. Anybody that's live. So you know and understand. So if I'm able to listen to something, because I could do two things at once, right? If I'm working out, if I'm working, I'm out and about or whatever, right? And I could listen, I'll just put on a channel and I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Nah, let me show you. Okay, so let me explain to you what happened. So yesterday the whole back and forth shit was going on with Brian Norman. Okay, so this is what I saw, right? So of course, Devin Haney and Bill Haney went on X, right? Bill Haney went on X and said, yo, the same offer for Boots is on the table, right? Which is kind of crazy. And this is why I started off saying, like, a lot of these guys, they're quick to call shit ducks, right? These aren't actual call outs. These are not contracts, bro. These are not. Going on X and telling somebody, I will offer you this. That's not an actual, bro. First off, I don't want to hear anything in regards to contracts, bro. That's none of my business. Right? An actual offer is when one side goes to the other side, whether it's through promotion or whatever, and they offer a contract, right? Not me going on X saying HOD's a duck, I'll give you $5,000. That's not a contract. That's not an offer. That's me running my mouth. Now, if people want to take people running their mouth and call that ducks, that's on them, but that's not an actual offer. So Bill Haney went on X and said, the same offer that you got for Boots and the Brian Norman Jr., right? That's what we're offering or some shit like that, right? Well, Brian Norman Jr. is like, bro, I don't do negotiations online, right? So they're going back and forth, whatever, right? So that's when I went on BTFB because I was he was only one live at that moment, I guess. So I was listening to him and he starts going off or whatever. And then I guess because he says he's cool with Brian Norman Jr., right? He said, but then he says he's like Devin Haney's his family, right? So okay, so that means you fuck with Devin, and in this situation, you don't fuck with Brian Norman. Just say it, bro. Because I mean, you can't do both, bro. You can't do both. You either gonna pick a side or not, right? But he's trying to like make it seem like he ain't picking a side. We already know which side he's picking. That's fine. It is what it is, right? So he's going off, right, about this and that. And I guess Brian Norman Sr. was on another channel. And that's where your name popped up because he got mad. He got mad because I guess Brian Norman Sr. was talking and you must have put a comment saying, yo, BTFB is over here saying that Brian Norman Jr. is a duck. And when that was happening, BTFB was watching. Right? So he goes off and he's like, oh, I hope this motherfucker doesn't believe no damn stranger, right? So I went back. I went back to the live to be like, wait a second, is HOD lying on this guy? Is he lying? So I went ahead and I found everything. And this is how it looks to me. Let me make sure. Oh, wait a second. My bad. Share the screen. Go over here. Hold up. Share video file. I don't know why that's like that. Hold up. Boxing over here. Edit videos. And it is to be called lying. Is it that one? Is over here. It's on the boxing channel. Okay, here it is right here. Let me see where it's So
bro.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, okay. It starts at the 30-something second mark. Okay, here, watch this.
Yeah, this is a solemn day for me. A solemn day. But he ducked Devin Haney, dog. Bro, he ducked Devin, dog. Bro, he ducked Devin, bro. There's no way around this. There's no ifs, no ands, no buts. He ducked Devin, bro. Brian just ducked Devin. What are you talking about?
But this other guy over here, HLD, saying BFTB is saying Norman is a duck and scared. Well, let me explain something to you. I'm a grown-ass man. I can speak for myself. I never said that. Not one time, ever. Ever. But yet this fucking cornball is over here saying these things, lying, trying to spread. Bro, if anybody thinks that I said anything that's got my number and you believe that, then fuck you. Do you understand that? I don't give a fuck who you are.
He was willing to take 1.7 for a fucking unification, my nigga. A unification. Fuck is you talking about? A solemn day. But he ducked Devin Haney, dog. Bro, he ducked Devin, dog.
He's over here saying he didn't say that, motherfucker. You said that the whole live. You said that the whole live. Oh my God. You mentioned Drew Titan? Yeah, fuck him too. Nah. I was just laughing. I was laughing because I don't understand why people do that, bro. I don't understand why people do that. And I know there's some people that watch me, that watch BTFB. I don't care about that. Like, I just think it's funny. Plus, you know, I like to watch people that have a different mindset. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see people that don't think like me, so I can understand why they think like me, or why they don't think like what I'm thinking. So like if I feel like, you know, I don't think this fighter is good, but you really think he is, right? Like, I'll watch what you say to see you break it down, to be like, oh, okay, well, it does make sense when he put it like that, you know? So there's no shame in my game. Like, I think he's entertaining. Like, he makes me laugh. But yeah, he was when he mentioned you, I was laughing because you know who you remind me of, HOD? You ever watch Martin? What was it, Tommy? Everybody thought Tommy, like, they're like, Tommy, do you work? What's your job? And Tommy never told anybody what his job was, but Tommy was always there. Like, you be on all these channels. I'm like, what does HOD do for a living? This motherfucker everywhere at every time. Like, is there like 3 of you running around this shit? Oh man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of things he says. I mean, yo, Bill does a good job with promoting though. And I don't know if you think this, Jonathan, but I don't think Devin ducks, like, contract wise. Like, I think like when I saw them on the Boxing Voice and Bill Haney was like, bro, did you get the contract? And Brian Norman Sr.'s like, yeah, you know, like, I'm gonna have my lawyer look it over, right? It was just weird to me because he's like, Ness is on that walking pad in the middle. And he's like, yeah, just sign it then. Just sign it. And Brian Norman Sr. is like, bro, hold on a second, bro. Like, I might have my lawyer look at it. Like, I'm not stupid. I don't just sign things. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, look, man, look, that's one fight that it'll be so funny, bro. It'll be so funny, bro. But that'll be a good fight for him to redeem his career, man. You got to redeem your career somehow, bro. I mean, when you look at it, right? When you look at the grand scheme of things, they're both, you know, they're both young, right? Let me see right here. Hold on one second. Which one is it? Right here. I mean, you look at their thing, right? Wait a second, that's not true. 32-0. No, I get the right one up there. All right, so when you look at things, right, that's a good fight for Devin. Oh, wait a second. Hold on a second, though. Hold on. Where I saw X yesterday, somebody had put, oh, I should have took a snapshot, bro. Somebody had a snapshot of and this is why I don't know whether shit is true or not sometimes, and I gotta, like, this is why I say I ain't gonna sit here and say no fight is official, because a lot of shit can be said back and forth, right? But somebody had put on X that that Turkey had put the offer in for Riyadh, but it's like, I don't know, man, because how do I know Turkey is willing to? The reason why I'm skeptical is because how do I know Turkey's gonna pay for that? How do I know? Like I saw Bill Haney right there saying, "Did you get the contract?" I saw Brian Norman's right there. Brian Norman's right there saying, "Yeah, we got it. We're gonna look it over." So unless all of that shit is WWE, I mean, I'm a person that's gonna take a person's word for it. Go do your thing, HOD. I'm gonna be inclined to take a person's word for it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I mean, that's a fight that I was calling for. That's a fight I was calling for, because I feel like I believe it or not, bro, I'm giving Devin Haney the benefit of the doubt. Like, you can bounce. Like, if you beat Brian Norman Jr., bro, come on, bro. That's a great win. That's a great win. That's a good win. That's a dangerous opponent. And Brian Norman Jr., the way that he fights, right? The way that he fights. The one thing I like about that kid, he doesn't get deterred well. And with Sasaki, with Santillan, there was a fight earlier in his career where he got dropped. And that's another thing too. That's another thing. When I see this kid fight, you could clearly see he's developing, because some fighters you can't tell. And I don't know if you pay attention. Like, when I watch a person fight, I pay attention. Like when Devin came out and fought Jose Ramirez, like, I immediately saw something didn't look right. And that's because he wasn't in the Philly shell. He was in the orthodox stance, right? I could clearly see Brian Norman Jr. is getting better. I could clearly see it. Like, you could clearly see it. His check left hooks, the way he cuts off the ring, his combinations are crisp. And you go back and you look at a fight where who was it that he fought? He did not look like that. He did not look like that. Let me see. I think it was Quentin Randall. Was it Yeah, it was Quentin Randall. No, AA. You know what, HOD? That's what did you see? I don't know if you're still here. Did you see when Bill was telling him to sign it, right? And Bill was like, sign it. And he's like, bro, we're good. Like, you don't like basically saying, you don't have to tell me to sign it in front of all these people so you could try to make a point that your son wants to fight my son. I'm telling you that if everything is okay in that contract, you don't got to worry about it. We're not ducking Devin. That's what he was basically saying in so many words. But Bill wants to put on this facade and wants him to be on camera, right? And I'm going to tell you why. When I look at this, I've seen this before. I've seen this shit before with Gary Russell and other times where fights were going to be supposedly made, right? Like, you're rushing a man to sign a contract when he's telling you that he's going to look it over. If everything's good, I'm going to sign it. So why are you going to continue to keep on, like, sign it? And that's why he left the Boxing Voice. He got off. He said, man, let me look at this shit, because now you getting me. Now you're making me suspicious. You're making me suspicious.
Do you know this? Do you know what size the ring is? I'm just curious to know for the game plan.
It's the
You ain't gonna
size.
tell me
It's the
that?
size. No, it's the size that we're gonna run circles around you in. Now,
Okay.
listen. Let me ask you this though. So,
We good
so
on our
wait,
end. We
what?
good.
So,
We're good. We're good on our end. We good.
so you agree
We
to are good.
Okay,
So
that
wait,
means you signed then. That does mean you signed.
wait. It doesn't mean you signed. It doesn't have to mean you didn't say that. But you agreed to everything, and you're cool with everything that was sent over.
that mean he done put some bullshit in there. That's why he's saying that. He done put
No,
some
I'm
bullshit
asking
in there.
you. I'm asking you.
Come
Determine.
I
on,
didn't look at it.
fellas.
I didn't look at the contract. I don't know. That
All
mean you
right,
know.
so y'all
I
gotta
tell
get
you
off the
what.
phone. Get off. Y'all get off and go sign them
No.
contracts,
Wait a
man.
minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you back. Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna
Do
call you
your
back.
thing.
Wait.
Do your
No. Hey, Dad.
You see? It's like if the man telling you, bro, we good, man. If the money right and you ain't throwing no shenanigans in there, bro, don't worry about it, bro. We good. My son ain't gonna duck your son. But you want him to hurry up and sign it. It's like, you know what it looks like to me? And this is why I understand what you're saying here too, HOD, because look, just don't be surprised, bro. Now I'm telling you, I don't want this to happen. I want to make it clear. I don't want what I'm about to say to happen. I want the fight to go through. I want to see the fight. But it almost looks like to me that maybe there's something in there for whatever reason. And then when Brian Norman Sr. doesn't sign it, because there's something in that contract that's like some BS, right? It's gonna make it look, the Haneys want to make it look like the Normans Jr.'s ducked. It's a pattern that I've seen in the past, bro. It's a pattern, bro. If everything is in the contract that's good, there should be no problem, bro. Because only the people that actually say what they say, them little handful of people that come here and say that retarded shit, only those Riri's that ride that small bus actually think that if somebody sent a valid contract with the right money and everything in it, that they're not gonna sign it because they don't want to fight Devin Haney. Like, it's absurd, bro. It's absurd if you think that way. It makes me, I'm inclined to think maybe there's something in there that isn't kosher. And Brian Norman Jr. is going to be like, Senior's going to be like, fuck that. We're not signing that. And then that turns around and that makes them look like they ducked. And then people could go around and say, look, nobody wants to fight Devin. Nobody. It's the same pattern. I've seen this shit before. Who remembers the whole Gary Russell shit? Who remembers that? I remember that like yesterday. Gary Russell got sent a term sheet. I think it was called a term sheet. It wasn't a contract. It was like, it wasn't an actual contract. It was like a term sheet, right? And Bill was going around saying, we sent it, right? So everyone's waiting on Gary Russell to sign it, right? And this is when, if you remember, Gary Russell had a crash out. He had a crash out. He was going up. He was talking shit about Crawford. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he was in the car, and because there was an incident that happened with Gary Russell Jr. and Bud Crawford. I don't know when the incident happened, if it was in the Olympics, or I don't know if it was the Olympics or the Golden Gloves or tournament or amateur, something like that. Something happened where they were beefing, and that shit was never cool since then. And I remember Gary Russell going off. He was talking shit about Tank. He said, I'll fight Tank. He said, I'll fight Crawford. He said, I'll fight Devin, right? So then, of course, Bill and Devin want to get involved in that. So they're like, yeah, we'll fight you. And then everybody was like, oh, shit, Gary's going to fight Devin, right? And then everyone's waiting for Gary Russell to sign this shit. And then Gary Russell comes on live and goes, bro, he sent me a fucking term sheet with some ridiculous terms on there. And I'm like, I'm not signing. I've been in this game for a long time. I'm not signing this bullshit. And he didn't sign it. And then the Haneys went around saying, look, Gary Russell ducked. That's what I mean, bro. That's why I'm not going to be like, oh, look, we definitely getting this. Because think about it. If it's going to be in Riyadh, that means Turkey paying for it. Well, we already know how Turkey feel. You saw Turkey. The one thing I'll say about Turkey, bro, even though I don't agree with it, at least the man is honest in that sense. I'm pretty sure he's lied some other where. He tells you up front who he's going for. He tells you up front. He said that Berlanga and Shakur, he's like, man, I hope they don't lose because I got big plans for them. You know, we already know he's going for Crawford when it comes to Canelo, right? But I don't know. It's like I watched the Tom and Jerry shit, and I'm thinking maybe the Turk's giving, you know, maybe the Turk is gonna be like, yo, like I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it to you like this, bro. It's hard for me to believe that if he were to fight Brian Norman Jr., it's hard for me to believe that he's not gonna do the same thing he did with Jose Ramirez. I would have to see it, bro. I would literally have to see it, and then I would go live and I would say I was wrong, and I got no problem doing that. But if he did that against Jose Ramirez, I would like to think he would do that against Brian Norman Jr. Like Brian Norman Jr. is putting people in the hospital, bro. Like that dude Sasaki says he doesn't remember anything. That's how hard he got hit, bro. The man got hit so hard. He said he doesn't remember. Like, I think he said he doesn't even remember that night. You know how hard you got to get hit for you to not remembering arriving to the stadium, putting on your gloves, anything. For you to wake up in the hospital and literally go, what happened? You don't remember anything last night? No. How did I get here? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. The closest thing that ever happened to my memory going, bro, was when I went through withdrawal. When I got clean years ago. It messed with my memory, but this totally different. This is an actual your head smashing against your skull, bro. So he hits hard. He puts people in the hospital, bro. So I'm inclined to think that if he fought this man, he gonna do the same thing. Why wouldn't he? Is that what he said? Yeah, I heard him say something like, that's crazy, bro. That's insane. Because I heard him say something like that too, but I didn't know it was that far back. I know that when Sasaki woke up, they reported that they asked him if he remembered anything. He said no, right? So obviously you gotta ask more because you gotta be like, you know what I mean? You gotta pinpoint. Like, there's a difference between like, I don't remember when I got knocked out. That's totally different. That happens a lot. I bet you that happens a lot with a lot of fighters, right? A lot of fighters probably don't remember when they got knocked out, right? But to say you don't remember showing up to the stadium, you don't remember putting on your gloves, you don't remember walking out, you don't remember, that is a hard knockout, bro. Like, that is some shit that would make me not want to fight no more. That's some shit that would make me be like, I don't know if I want to fight anymore. That's what somebody said on Twitter. So I don't know how true that was. I know for a fact in the article that I read, somebody from Sasaki's camp said that he did not remember anything when they asked him, like, what do you mean you don't remember? Like, he doesn't remember the night period. Not, I don't remember what round I got knocked out in. I don't remember what punch. No, I don't remember showing up. That's bad. That's bad. Like, this kid is hurting people, bro. He's hurting people. And he doesn't stop moving forward, bro. He doesn't stop moving forward, bro. It's going to take somebody to beat Brian, obviously you can outbox him, right? And you know what? Another thing that I'm seeing that I don't like too, that I don't like is they're still not giving this kid his credit, bro. They're still not giving this kid his credit. They're trying to trash Sasaki and everything like that. Like, are you forgetting he beat Santillan too? Are you forgetting that? Like, that was a big win, bro. Are you like, and I don't know, man. Like, as much as I like Boots, bro, as much as I like Boots, I gotta be completely honest with the shit that I see. Like, I don't know if Boots ever wanted to fight Brian Norman, bro. I don't. I think Boots can beat anybody when he's on his A game. But I don't know. He's showed me he's moved funny this year, bro. He's moved hella funny. It's so easy for me to criticize people I like, bro. Which is why I'm not going to lie. I do get out of pocket with certain dudes that come up in here. Because I literally try to show people, bro, that I know I'm biased. Like I said, I know I'm biased, bro. It's impossible for me not to be. I'm human. Everyone's biased, bro. Don't let people lie to you. I try to be fair with how I feel, right? Fair. Bro, for all the people that think that all I was doing was shitting on Devin, yeah, but then they seem to inherently forget. They seem to inherently forget that the night of the Ryan Garcia fight, when Ryan came in overweight, I flipped my pick. I said I'm going for Devin. I also said Devin was gonna knock out Jose Ramirez. I literally all week I'm like, I think Devin's gonna shine, this and that. I'm literally giving the kid the props. So when these dudes come up here and they say what that shit does, it does after a while, because it's like, bro, you pick and choose what you want to hear. You pick and choose what I say. That's what you're doing. You think it was rabbit punches? I don't know, man. I think he got caught early, Sergeant. He got caught early within the first 40-something seconds of the fight, bro. He got caught early. Right? So, rabbit punches, I'm not going to lie. Rabbit punches are illegal for a reason. You're right, Sergeant. They are. They're illegal for. You're not supposed to hit nobody back here. You're not. That's a dangerous spot to hit somebody. You're absolutely right. That's why it's not allowed. Because this actually affects your memory more than anything. That's why when people fall back, when people get knocked out in the UFC or people get knocked out in any type of combat sport and they fall back and their back of their head hits the canvas, that right there is like, you would rather fall face flat than want to fall backwards, hitting your head back here. You would rather fall forward, maybe hit your nose, something like that. Yeah, it might mess up over here. You would rather that than hit the straight back of your head. For you to get knocked out, you're already unconscious, and for your body to smack down on the pavement or to smack back down on the back of your head is extremely dangerous, bro. People have died, bro. People have literally died. And this kid, bro, he's not making it. And I love fighters that end fights in a way where they don't leave it up to the judges for them to get robbed. I love that shit, bro. Take it in your own hands, bro. You can't trust nothing. You can't trust nothing. I already told you, I think Canelo's going to beat Bud Crawford, right? But I also think wholeheartedly that if Bud wins 4 rounds, they might rob Canelo, bro. They might rob Canelo. They might call the shit a draw. They might. I wholeheartedly believe that. There's been some red flags that's been going on in that fight as well. Like things that don't kind of like make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Like the man is $1 billion. How much money does Turk Al-Sheikh have? How much money does this man have? This man, $2.8 billion, bro. $2.8 billion this man has. So when he's paying these fighters $5 million, $6 million, man, that's fuck off money to him, bro. Can you imagine having that much money? Can you imagine having that much money that 8 million is like just whatever? That's throwaway money, bro. That's a Wednesday afternoon for me. So this man's got a lot of money, right? And I covered this the other day, which it just I don't know. Like I said, I kind of pay attention to like little things people might not pay attention to. And a lot of times, we're not gonna lie, a lot of times it ends up being nothing. It ends up being nothing. But you know, like if we're watching a movie, like don't watch a movie with me because I'm looking at the background. I'm looking at like if I saw that pattern before earlier in the movie, did that guy have that shirt on the first time? Like I'm looking at shit like that. I don't know. I've just been like that, right? But I look at the whole Turkey thing where he said that he wanted to sit next to Bud Crawford, right? Okay. Yeah, keep in mind, this is a man that had no problem. In my opinion, he threatened Canelo. He threatened Canelo, okay? On live TV, he threatened that man. Crawford had a pay-per-view, and he inducted himself into the Hall of Fame, this man. And we know Crawford, all he wanted to do was fight Canelo, right? That's why Canelo called him his uncle. He said, your uncle, Turk al-Sheikh. You better hope your uncle's paying you all that money because this is going to be your last, Canelo said to him. But he does the pay-per-view, and he's standing up there, and he's like, yeah, you know, I want to make this is the Madrimov fight. Yeah, I want to make the Canelo, I want to get Crawford and Canelo to fight. And then he goes in front of the camera and says, yeah, you know, we called Canelo's camp. We called his camp, but I can't get through to him. I keep speaking to his people. It'll be in his best interest. If he knows what's good for him, he'll call me. Y'all remember that? Like, that's a threat, bro, to me. That's a threat. Like, if somebody came up to me and was like, yo, Shadow, yo, this dude told me, like, if you knew what was best, bro, you would call him. I would take that as a personal threat. I'd be like, who the fuck said what? What does that mean? It'd be in my best interest, right? So he's threatened Canelo in the past. He said the same thing to Tim Tszyu, right? He said the same thing to Tim Tszyu. Oh, if he knew what best for him, right? So this man's he's a billionaire. And we know his favorite fighter is Crawford. So he's a billionaire. We know his favorite fighter is Crawford. And then they do the press conference and he says, I don't want to sit in so many words, I don't want to sit next to Canelo. Right?
I don't know why they put me here. I want to be in the side of Crawford. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Right? Then the very next conference, when he walks in, he sits right next to Canelo again.
Pleasure to introduce the chairman of the General Entertainment Authority and the Saudis Boxing Federation, His Excellency Turki al-Sheikh. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. That's when I started thinking, like, wait a second. People that have a lot of money, I said this the other day, and it's true, bro. People that have a lot of money in America, right? They think like nothing, nobody could touch them. That's what they think, right? I'm a millionaire. I got big bags. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me, right? I could pay somebody to have you taken out. I could pay for the best lawyers. I'll pay the judge off. I'll pay the jury, right? And then you notice in this country, especially the past 5-10 years, we've gone out of our way. This country, I say us, the United States, right? Like regardless of what people think, I love this country. You know, I'm a veteran. I love this country. I was born here. They've gone out of their way to make an example that your money can't always save you, right? Diddy, Weinstein, all this other shit. Well, in those other countries where these dudes got billions of dollars and shit, or trillions of dollars, even though Saudi Arabia is a so-called democracy because they're allies with the United States, right? They're real close to the United States. How close? Just the other day, Saudi Arabia was on TV when the whole Iran shit popped off, and literally said, we're allies with the United States. If we wanted to, we could take out Iran. I mean, they ain't bigger than us. We got more money than them. We got a bigger military than them. All our military comes from the United States. We don't even got to get involved. But if we wanted to, in so many words, we could smack the fuck out of them. But we already know what's going to happen. We're just going to sit back. But if the United States needs anything, just let us know. Literally. It's talking like that. Like, yeah. So United States and Saudi Arabia is like this, bro. But over there in a democracy, that man, nobody tells him no. And just so you know, the dude that is like the prince over there or whatever it is, right? When he first came into power, he was trying to change everything. He was trying to let women drive and let women walk around with no head, face covering or whatever, right? And a lot of them found that offensive. And there's been assassination attempts on this man's life. But it goes to show you their culture. Nobody tells that man no, Turk al-Sheikh. So what you mean? They put me over here. I don't want to sit next to he's 30 feet away from you. You can't pick up the chair and be like, walk over there. Or you can't just tell the dude, hey, yo, why you sit me here, bro? Didn't I tell your ass? I mean, get the hell out of here. Like, you know what I mean? So then the next day you sit next to Canelo again. Then the whole KO incentive shit is starting with the Crawford fight. He did the interview that I showed you, the little clip where he says he doesn't like Tom. He keeps saying he don't like Tom and Jerry, but he says in this interview that he wants to put on an event sometime later this year or early next year after the Crawford and Canelo. He wants to put on an event, but he wants to have the rules altered. It's what the man says out of his own mouth. I want to get the rules altered. So that way there's guaranteed action in a fight, no matter who fights. Or if not, they won't get paid. Because I like, when you look at this man's culture, he's paying you millions of dollars. I think people is quick to like not understand because they're from American or America. They are Americanized and not understand that people from other countries, certain things are considered insults, bro. Little tiny things like not taking off your shoes when you walk into somebody's house, little shit like that. Like I forgot what country it is, but when you like, they don't want you looking directly into the women's eyes. So if a man's married, right, you don't ever make eye contact with another man's wife. That's in certain countries, right? If you don't know these things, that shit could get you killed. This man's culture, nobody tells him no. So you would have to be inclined to think there's something going on, right? And I think if Bud Crawford wins at least 4 rounds, they might rob Canelo. They very well might rob him, bro. And Crawford that came out in an interview and said that when the Turk first came into his life or whenever, when he first talked to him, bro, it was back when he fought Amir Khan. He got a phone call. And the dude was like, you're one of my favorite fighters and this and that, right? And then the Turk didn't actually want the Canelo fight at first, right? So which makes me think that like maybe Crawford kind of talked him into it. And then you saw what Turk did to get Canelo on his side. What did he do to get Canelo on his side? This is how you know nobody tells this man what to do. What did he do? Literally, when Canelo was fighting, he takes his own money on the UFC Nocha with Dana White, a rival combat sport, puts millions of dollars into that event right down the street from where Canelo was fighting on purpose. And then had Crawford over there, Ryan Garcia over there, all these people over there watching the UFC event after dropping millions of dollars into there. And this is after when he made attempts to call Canelo, and Canelo was like, he didn't like the fact Canelo got hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's like, man, fuck off. I don't need the. You're not gonna tell me what to do, right? But he went out of his way to do all of that. Out of his way. Then finally when they did the what was it, a couple months ago? When they got the picture, right? That was when T.O. got on board and shit like that. He eventually always gets who he wants, right? I think he wants you think Turkey's trolling what? You think Turkey's trolling what? With the whole, like, he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, you think? Like in what specifically, Hawker? No, I think he's serious when he says he doesn't want to. I could show you where he says that he's gonna try to change the rules to boxing. He literally says he's gonna try to change the rules to boxing, bro. I don't even know if that's possible or legal. But I know one thing: when you having all these dudes fight over in Riyadh and having all these guys fight in another country, right? I know one thing, like, you're not in America no more. You're at the mercy of another country. So let me see something here. Yo, Deontay Wilder is fighting in 2 days. Why is nobody promoting it? Oh my goodness, bro. I swear to you, bro. I keep forgetting that Deontay Wilder is fighting, bro. Oh, you think he's trolling? No. I don't think he is, man. I don't think he is. I mean, if you think he is, I don't, you know, I don't think he understands the concept of trolling, maybe. I mean, maybe he does, but I know that when you see Turkey talk, right? Culturally, you can hear the difference in him. Culturally. You know what I mean? Like, he's a man of what he says. He's a man that is gonna pay. He's gonna pay. He's got a lot of money. So he's gonna pay for whatever he thinks he can't get access to. Like, eventually, he will get Tank, bro. He will get Gervonta Tank Davis, bro. And I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I'm glad somebody has the money to pay these guys, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, without Turkey, there's a lot of fights we probably wouldn't have seen. They would have never happened. They would have never happened because of promotional issues or whatever it may be, right? But also, didn't the Turk do business with Oscar De La Hoya? Because what the hell's going on with that? Because you saw him taking stabs at Oscar De La Hoya. Did you hear what the Turk said about Oscar De La Hoya? Now, you know Dana White and Oscar De La Hoya hate each other, right? They can't stand each other. Oscar De La Hoya and Dana White can't stand each other. But I could have swore that Oscar De La Hoya did business with the Turkey. And now he says he can't stand him. Or maybe it's Canelo. I saw Oscar De La Hoya dancing. Where is it at? Where is it at? Let me see what he said. If anyone be trolling, it's Oscar De La Hoya, bro. You see? Let me see right here. Bruh, Oscars are full, bro. Hold on, let me see. Oscars are full, bro. Look at Oscar De La Hoya, bro. This dude is crazy, bro. This dude is nuts, bro. I wonder if all day he just be doing coke, bro. Oscar be acting like he's coked out of his mind.
I have no clue what you're talking about. What's up?
Oscar, this is tremendous.
The fuck is wrong with Oscar, bro? This dude is nuts, bro.
Your promotion, your social media as of late. Who's behind all of this, Oscar? The clapbacks. Who's doing all of this? Because you've really taken it up a notch.
There's 1,000 people behind it, Ariel. 1,000 people. Now it's only me and Holly who are coming up with ideas to promote. I mean, you look, nowadays you have to get the attention of these young kids and just think outside the box and get the views. And that's exactly what we're doing. So look, I mean, I don't know how many views this thing got, but
I wonder, let me see. Hold on, let me see. Oscar says in regards to the Turk. Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September.
Did he just say we will watch The Conjuring? That's that demonic movie, right? Ain't that demonic movie? Did he just say that? Hold on. He just so he be watching her. I mean, I be laughing. I be watching horror movies too. This is weird how he said that. Yeah, we're gonna go to the lunch and then we're gonna do this and then we're gonna go watch The Conjuring. What the fuck? Yo, the Prince is crazy, bro.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Hey, what's going on, champion?
Yeah, this is what I want from you to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport number one in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
And that's exactly what I'm. Hawker, do you see how he is, Hawker? That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Culturally, this man is different. He's, as much as they want to make it a democracy, nobody tells that man no with his money. So maybe I might be misunderstanding the situation correctly, but just like when like you guys remember, okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You guys remember when Jared Anderson fought Bacoli? You guys remember that? You guys remember how Bacoli, like, he blew Jared Anderson out the water, bro? He stopped him in like 3-4 rounds, right? And Jared Anderson was undefeated. And by the way, I think Jared Anderson did well in that fight. I think he did well. But you go back and look at that fight, and you look at Turkey's response, Turkey invited Jared Anderson over there. Turkey looked at Jared Anderson as an upcoming undefeated American heavyweight, undefeated Black American heavyweight, and he had plans for him. Just like when he just said on X, I hope Berlanga and Shakur Stevenson doesn't lose because I have plans for them. Just like he had plans for Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, right? If you go back and look at when Jared Anderson lost, and you look at the way Bakoli tried to go up to the Prince, Bakoli tried to go up to Turkey after knocking out Jared Anderson. And it was almost like he was upset. He was upset that Bakoli won. And then he started bringing Bakoli to the fights, right? But when Jared Anderson showed up to the fight and he was walking down the ring, like certain fighters, Turkey got up out his seat and walked over to them. Not every fighter, certain fighters, the ones he liked. When Jared Anderson came out down the ramp, he got up out his seat, walked around, went over to him, grabbed his gloves, and gave him like a, I don't know, a little hug and kiss. You know how the Turkey is, holding hands with Crawford and shit, right? But he was visibly upset that Jared Anderson got beat up. So he's very honest in the sense that he'll tell you who he goes for and or whatever. Like Adames was beating Shiraz, and the man went to the corner and was like, hey, you need to do something. Like you're losing on the cards or whatever. He did the whole Floyd Mayweather shit, what Floyd did when Tank was losing, right? So not only that, but I think it's the way that he took time to get Canelo. You gotta remember, Hawker, like Crawford and Turk have been like this for a minute now. You know, when Crawford says he reached out to me after the Amir Khan fight, that's years ago. That's years ago. They have a greater relationship than what he has with Canelo. And on top of that, Canelo, from what I'm seeing, Crawford's making 10 million and Canelo's getting a recorded payday of 50. That's a huge difference, bro. 50 million, 10 million. In fact, Canelo ain't even making, like, isn't that a normal bag for Canelo? Let's be honest here. Isn't that a normal bag? 50 million. That goes to show you how much money Canelo makes, bro. 50 million? When PBC and them offered him a 3-fight deal, wasn't that shit like upwards to like almost 100 million, 80 million, 60 million, whatever? I don't know. When he took those short-term contracts, he'll take 3 fights over here, 4 fights over here. Bro, they're in the high. It's a lot of money, bro. So this whole 50 million to fight Crawford to me isn't really a big bag. It's a normal bag for Canelo. It's a normal bag. Yes. Yes. And that is another reason why I think Crawford loses. You're absolutely right. And I agree with you, Hawker. I said this the other day. Okay, let me put it to you like this. I'm not hating on Crawford, bro. I'm not hating on Crawford. I've been saying if anybody can move up these weight classes and beat Canelo, it's gonna be someone like Crawford. He's a gym rat. I feel like nobody locks in more than Crawford. When I say lock in, I mean like it's time to fight. Training camp, do what you got to do. Focus on your opponent. Watch tape, right? When he shows up to fight, you could clearly see this man was putting in the work, trying to find out a way to beat his opponent, right? It's not like he gets into the ring and he's got a deer in his headlights. He's always got a great plan. Him and Bomac always got a great plan, right? If anybody can do it, it's Bud. However, there have been some things that have happened that have led me to believe that this is just the bag talking. This is just the bag talking. Because if it was pure legacy, now, yes, money comes with legacy. But if this was just about pure legacy, well, think about it. When Canelo was gonna fight William Skull, Crawford had a perfect opportunity to fight a stay busy fight. Didn't do it. The reason why he didn't do it, he went on X. He said, nah, I got to fight with Canelo in November. Nothing messing that up. Well, what's there to mess up? You're Bud Crawford. So I'm not saying he's admitting he would have lost, but when you think about it, anything could have happened. It's not meaning he could have lost. You could have got injured. You could hurt your, you know what I mean? You could fight, win the fight. I don't know, pull a muscle, hurt your hand, something can happen that can delay you from getting your bag to fight Canelo, right? So he doesn't do it. But still, it's the mindset, Hawker. The mindset is like, look, so you so worried about getting that bag. Meanwhile, Canelo, on the other hand, is like, bruh, I'm going to move on. Business as usual. I got shit to do. I'm not going to sit here and wait around till November to fight you, bro. This is before the fight was even announced. Like, nah, I'm going to go fight William Skull. I'm going to keep doing me. If you available in November, fine. Remember, you want to fight me. You need me. I fight at 168. You fight at 154. So then, now you know how much they're getting paid, right? He doesn't take a fight. Canelo goes and fights Skull. Crawford doesn't, right? And then you look at the fact he's fighting somebody at 168. But if it was really about legacy and not money, bro, you're at 154. The most dangerous division in boxing. The most dangerous division in boxing. Why not unify there? Why not fight a champion there? There's plenty of fights. I mean, what? You don't think Bud is good enough to become undisputed at 154? Doesn't he already have more than one belt there? Last I checked. Because I thought it was only one. And when I looked at it, I could have swore he's got more than one. You see? Well, yeah, maybe not, Hawker, but you see, but you understand my question, right? You understand my question, right? Look, Terrence Bud Crawford, the WBO, right? Terrence Bud Crawford, WBA. Bakram got the IBF, right? Sebastian Fundora is at WBC, right? So if it was necessarily purely about legacy and not money or not anything like that, then I would. All I'm saying is this, bro. The more logical thing to do. What is more logical? What is more logical? I'm at 147. What is more logical to you? Okay, I became a undisputed champ at 140. I'm gonna move up. Where do I go? 147. You move up the next weight class, 7 pounds, right? Okay, now I got here. I beat all these guys. Oh, look, now I'm undisputed at 147. What is my next logical move? Move up another weight class, right? Oh, okay, I'm going to move up to 154. Now I'm at 154. Okay, I beat a champion. What would be the next logical move? But no, now I go, you know what I'm going to do? I got a belt here at 154. I'm going to skip 160. Even though I didn't even finish what I did here. I just got here. But and I didn't even win this fight convincingly enough. I won the fight. I think he won the fight. I think he did. I don't think he lost to Madrimov. I think he beat Madrimov. I gave the fight to Crawford. I know some people think he lost. I don't think he did. I think the last 3 rounds, Bud Crawford turned it up and won. But I'm just trying to show you the logical sense between people's thinking. If I'm at 140, hey, I conquered everybody, y'all. I'm an undisputed champion. Next logical step, move up a division. I move up 147. I beat everybody. Yo, look, I'm undisputed, y'all. What do I do? Next logical step, you move up a division. I'm at 154. But now I beat one fighter, but I don't win that fight convincingly, but I win. I get a belt. Now I just want to skip the next one and go directly to 168 and fight Canelo. And the only answer logically is a bag, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to, people keep saying he's doing this for legacy. No, he's not, in my opinion. No, he's not. He's doing it for the bag. Because being undisputed at 154 or being undisputed in some other, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be 3 times undisputed. You're already undisputed at 140. You're already undisputed at 147. Whether it's 154, 160, 168 really doesn't really matter. You'll still be known for 3 times undisputed. And like I said, like when they were in negotiations and Canelo keeps on going forward with his business to go fight Skull, he had every opportunity to take another fight, Crawford. He could have took another fight. He said, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm going to wait till November. I'm going to, like, basically, I'm waiting on my bag. Right. Completely bypasses Janibek. Nobody speaks about Janibek at 160. It's like the man, like everyone ignores this man. Everyone ignores Janibek. Nobody talks about the man. Nobody says, I don't hear nobody saying they want to openly fight Janibek. Everyone just acts like he don't exist. I mean, look, it's fine. It's about the money. That's fine. Bud has earned it, bro. He's earned it. But don't sit here and try to tell me this shit is all for legacy. It's not, bro. It's not. 140, 147. You moved up to 154. You beat a fighter. You beat a champion. And you already have, technically, you already have a WBO and the WBA. Now the WBO is vacant, right? He's the intern, but if he's the intern at the WBO, bro, it's so easy, bro. He can get that WBO belt. He can get that easily. So now you would be unified at 154, but of course you would have to go through Fundora or Virgil Ortiz and Bakram. That shit doesn't sound easy, does it? Yes. Oh, yeah. There you go, Tycho. I forgot. There you go. See, good boxing minds think alike. 140. I mean, 160. You're already moving to 168, right? You can go to 160, get a belt from Laura, who's in his past his prime. He doesn't even fight the same. Laura don't even fight the same, bro. Laura goes in there and knocks you out. He's like, bro, listen, I'm too old to fucking be moving around like Devin Haney, bro. I'm too old for this shit. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to go home. Or I'm going to get knocked out. But he is, Hawker. He is. Tank is right. Tank is right. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Like, to me, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. He's earned it. Just don't hit it over my head like it's just pure legacy. Like, if it was pure legacy, you logically wouldn't jump all these weight classes, bro. That's ridiculous. Who logically does that? Oh, I just got undisputed at 147. So where you going to go, Shadow? 154, 160? No, I'm going to go to 175. Yeah, yeah, you know, I just figured there's no point in them other weight classes. I'm just gonna gain 30 fucking pounds and just go up there and fight the best. No tune-up, nothing like that. That's not logical. That's not logical. If I did something like that, it's all money, bro. It's all money. There's nothing wrong with that. But based on those situations alone, That's a tall order, bro. That's a tall order. And you fighting Canelo, who's naturally been fighting at this weight class, who's 2 times undisputed, right? When he beat everybody at 168, he beat all these guys in their prime, bro. In their prime, they were undefeated. I don't give a fuck whether they white, black, or not, bro. They were undefeated in their prime, bro. And each of them had a different style too. You had Callum Smith, who was a big white guy, kind of slow, but big as hell. Packs a punch, whatever, right? Then you got Billy Joe Saunders, who like a real slick mover, and then you had Caleb Plant, slick mover, right? But he had also fought did he fight John Ryder at 168? I don't know when he fought John Ryder, but he fought John Ryder. Then he even had the mandatory with what's his name? The one that everybody hates that he took, beat the man in like 3 rounds. Forgot his name. Something, the Wolf was his nickname or something. And then we're talking about Canelo, who fought who beat Kovalev. And people want to bring up the fact that he was the oldest champ. He was the worst. Are you still not understanding that Canelo is like 5 something, bro? Like, this man is tiny. This man is tiny, bro. The people just forget that. Like, that's why, like, when I see them go, oh, look how tall Bud is. Look how that shit don't mean nothing to me, bro. He's the smaller man his whole career. And he's fought way more different styles, bro. Way more different styles, bro. Way more different styles. Bud was never active. When was Bud's last fight? His last fight was what? Madrimov. How long ago was that? How long ago was the fight before that fight? So you take the time in between fights. You take the resume. You got to take the resume into account, bro. You got to take it into account, bro. Like, context, I keep saying context is everything. And that's why, before I get out of here, that's why I totally believe Canelo when he said to Crawford and he said to his face, who did you beat that was elite? He names Ricky Burns and whatever, right? He goes, just because they're a champion does not mean they're elite. Getting a belt does not mean they're elite. And it's so true, bro. I've seen champions get elevated because another champion either, I don't know, maybe he moved up a weight class. Maybe he got injured and had surgery. He can't fight no more. Maybe a lot of times we see this, right? A fighter has an off night, loses to a guy he's not supposed to lose to. Just loses to a guy. The guy was a placeholder. He was just a stepping stone. Maybe he was just fighting that guy because they really had another fight in the background. They were setting that up. So once he beats this guy, we're going to go get the unification fight, whatever it may be. But it's an upset, right? Upset nonetheless. Now this guy gets upsetted. Now the next guy up, the mandatory, right, who's really a dangerous fighter, whatever, comes in and beats that guy. Well, how did I get my belt? I beat a guy who beat the champion on an off night. Now you follow that guy's career, the guy that had the upset, he never wins another good fight in his life. It's like Kambosos, bro. Kambosos he's not a good fighter. He's known for one thing. So if he's only known for one thing, and he hasn't really beaten anybody since, and even the Maxie Hughes win was actually a robbery, highway robbery, then how good is being undisputed when Devin Haney got it? How good was he really? That's my point, and that's Canelo's point. That's Canelo's point. Just because you have a belt doesn't mean you're elite, bro, because you could have got the belt in numerous different ways, especially in 2025. Sometimes you don't even got to fight for the belt. The shit gets emailed to you. So that's what Canelo's telling Bud, like, bro, just because that shit was hilarious to me. And that was the first time I ever seen Bud Crawford struggling. You know, he's in the chair, like, he got up quickly, like, oh, shit, I got to say something. What am I going to say to this? Like what? Like what is there to say? You could even see it in his demeanor when he's moving with the chair. He's moving.
Excited for this fight.
There is no wait. Where he says hold on, where is it at? Hold on, he's like, hold up. That was another one I wanted to show too. I got another clip I'm gonna show real quick. Hold up. Boxing channel clips. All right here. Hold up. Let me see. Is this it right here? First off, let me what is this clip that I clipped here? Let me play this first. Damn, I uploaded shit. I don't even remember what I put on there. I guess wait, let's just see what this says real quick. I'm gonna play this. I have no idea what it's about.
Excited for this fight.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years, you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right now.
You can see it, but
it's gonna be
difficult. You take it to your
I'm
home.
taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight night.
I know Turkey is in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You gonna see.
We'll
you know
see.
it.
We'll see.
We're gonna
son.
see.
Terrence,
Said you're nothing different. Nah, it's the truth though. And it's not just Cambosis, bro. Okay. If you don't believe what Canelo was saying, okay, here goes another example. I just saw today somebody try to shame Canelo, right? He said that the reason why Canelo is fighting Crawford is because he's doing whatever he can to not fight David Benavidez, right? That's what he said. He said that he's running from David Benavidez and he'll fight anybody, just not to fight David, right? And then he goes on to say, he tried to stick up for Crawford and said, yeah, so Canelo basically said that Crawford never fought an elite fighter, but I could show you elite fighters he ducked. So you know who he names? Jamal Crawford. Crawford. No, I'm sorry. I fucked up, man. My whole shit is Jamel. No, he named Jamal and Andre. He named Jamal and Andre. And that's crazy because Jamel Charlo is the more accomplished brother. Jamel went undisputed. Jamal didn't. Jamal's been plagued with alcohol and addiction his whole damn career. Andre never fought for a belt. So they're not elite fighters. They're just fighters that had belts, bro. So there is a clear difference between an elite fighter and a champion, bro. There always is. Okay, who do you think is elite? Do you think Loma was elite? That's a silly question, right? That's a silly question to ask somebody. Like, is Lomachenko elite? This man came into boxing and didn't even move up the ranks. He didn't even move up the ranks, bro. He just came into boxing fighting champions. I bet you if I look through the rankings right now, I bet you if I look through the rankings right now, you could see a massive difference in fighters about elite and not elite. If we look at them in the context of how they got the belt, we can start at 135. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I'm just going to see. I bet you there's some fighters on here that probably didn't get it right? Look at this. Mutataya. Now, even though Mutataya is good, how did he get the belt? Loma retired, right? Loma retired. A perfect example. Now, I'm not shitting on Mutataya. I'm not. I'm just giving you a perfect example of what Canelo's trying to say. Gervonta Tank Davis might as well not even be a champion because he fights whoever he picks. He doesn't the rankings don't apply to Gervonta Tank Davis. The rankings don't apply. He just picks whoever he feels like is a good fight, whoever the money machine puts in front of him, right? Shakur Stevenson, to me, he's elite. I'm talking about the accomplishments. Now, I know at 126, I think they were vacant belts or whatever, but you still can't disregard what he did at 130 when he beat Jamel Herring and unified and beat Oscar Valdez easily. One-sided, bro. One-sided. I forgot who he fought to get that the 135 belt. I forgot who he fought. Now you got 140, right? Every one of these guys at 140 got their shit the legit way. Richardson Hitchens beat Paru. Puello beat Russell. Yeah, Richardson Hitchens beat Paru. Puello beat Antoine, right? Antoine beat El Rayo. Tio beat Josh Taylor, right? Everyone there got it the hard way. Move up to 147. Barrios, Brian Norman, and Boots. Boots got his belt when Crawford moved up. Right? And then the other belt he got from Stanionis. $154 is just murderer's row, bro. That shit is just crazy. Oh shit, Jamel Charlo is still the champion in recess in the WBA. So I still got to look up the term for the champion in recess. I wonder if that means when he comes back, does he get those? No, that's not how that works, right? Because look at that. Look who's the WBA champion. It's Terrence Bud Crawford. And we know Jamel Charlo can't stand him. They don't like each other. That would have been a great fight for me. That'd have been a perfect fight with the history that they got and the fact that Jamel was stable mates with Errol Spence. And Terrence Bud Crawford said that Jamel Charlo is the only fighter that he actually doesn't like in real life. Like everything else is business. He says Jamel Charlo is the one he's the only fighter he literally just doesn't like, bro. So that's a good fight right there. That fight should have happened.
See him calling me out and want the fight and everything. I see before. I say before, he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Bruh. Bro, the way Bud's face was, bro. The way Bud, like, he caught him off guard and Bud did that. Bud moved like Like if he's married and he came home, and the wife goes and does the laundry, and I don't know, you go in the shower and shit, and she's like, "Who's this? Who's Samantha?" That's what Bud looked like. He looked like he got caught. Like, oh shit! Look how he goes to answer that
See
question.
him calling me out and won the fight and everything. I see before. I say before he's a great fighter, but if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't.
Who's
he
that
wasn't a
Postal?
great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Postal in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay,
He's not elite.
It's cool.
He's right though, man. That shit is so hilarious, bro. I still don't know why he didn't name Earl Spence, bro. First person I'd have said is Earl Spence. Earl Spence was unified at 147, had a way better resume than Bud Crawford. I don't know why he didn't just say that, bro. I like Bud too, man. Like I do. And I see some people thinking that like there's gonna be a repeat of Jermell. I don't see that. Even though I do think he's fighting for the money, right? I do think he's fighting for the money. I don't think it's legacy at all. I think he's fighting for the money. Like I said, I already went through it. I don't think it's legacy. If it was legacy, you beat Madrimov. You had 2 belts at 154. You could have, if you really wanted to challenge yourself, you could have just went undisputed at 154. Or at least go to 160, right? You know, you want to skip another 2 divisions? Like this is for the money. Yeah, people could say, no, it's for undisputed. Like, I don't know, man. This is a bag. He's getting paid 10 mil. That's what it's reporting, 10 mil. And Crawford is reportedly being offered. No, I'm sorry. Crawford is reportedly getting 10. Now, I don't even know how true this is, but Crawford is reportedly to get 10 million and Canelo's getting 50 million. That is a normal bag for Canelo, bro. It's not even a big bag. Yeah, definitely does, bro. He definitely does. I mean, look. I'm gonna say that, I don't know when you got here, but I'm gonna say this before I get off because I started it. Did you see when they were on the Boxing Voice and Bill was telling them, you know, just sign it, just sign it, just sign it? And Brian Norman Sr. is like, bruh, if everything is in the contract, that's okay. I'll sign it. Yeah. And Bill's like, no, just sign it, right? And then Brian Norman Sr. was like, he told Ness, like, yo, let me get off of here real quick and go look at this contract. Because the way he was making it seem like if somebody tells you, bro, yo, if everything in the contract is fine, the money, whatever, we're not scared of Devin, bro. Let my lawyer look over it. And if you're sitting there like, no, just sign it, sign it right now on camera. Like, that's weird to me, bro. It's almost like, how do I know you didn't put something in there that you know we're not going to like and you know we're not going to accept? And then when I don't sign that, the boxing public thinks we're a duck. Because I've seen it before, bro. I'm telling you, I've seen this shit before. That's why I'm praying the fight goes through, bro. I'm praying the fight goes through. I think that if Devin fights him, it is the perfect fight for Devin. It is the perfect fight because if he beats somebody like Brian Norman Jr., he'll bounce back in a huge way. That is a huge win. That is a dangerous fight. Brian Norman Jr. is getting better and better and better. And like I said, he's putting dudes in the hospital, bro. He's putting dudes in the hospital. But at the end of the day, he said, let his lawyer look over that contract, which means, let's not forget, Devin ain't the A side. He ain't the champion. Brian Norman Jr. is the champion. All right, that's number 1. Number 2, if it's supposedly in Riyadh, then Turkey going to take care of it, right? Let Turkey take care of it. But if there's anything in that shit that like and then they were asking questions about the ring too. And then Bill Haney said something like, Bill said, "Did you sign it?" And he goes, I mean, if everything is okay in the contract, yeah, we're gonna sign it. And Bill goes, "Are you okay with everything in there?" That's weird, bro. What do you mean? Like, why wouldn't he be okay with everything in there? Why? What are you putting in there? What are you putting in there that you're so worried about him not taking? Yeah, it's weird to me. Like when I'm gonna play this, then I'm gonna get out of here, bro. But I mean, I would have got off too. I would have got off too. I'd have got off too, and I would have said, "Yo, let me look this over, bro."
Do you know this? Do you know what size the ring is? I'm just curious to know for the game plan.
It's the
You ain't gonna
size.
tell me
It's the
that?
size. No, it's the size that we're gonna run circles around you in. Now, listen.
Okay.
Let me ask you this though. So,
We good on our end. We good. We're good. We're good on our end. We good.
So you agree to are good.
Okay,
So
that
wait.
means you signed then. That does mean you signed.
Wait. It doesn't mean you signed. It doesn't have to mean you didn't say that. But you agreed to everything and you're cool with everything that was sent over.
That means he done put some bullshit in there. That's why he's saying that. He done put some bullshit in there.
I'm asking you.
Come on.
That right? Why would you even ask that? That's just weird to me. I'm just saying, bro. The man, am I right or wrong though? I'm not. Look, I'm telling you, I want the fight, bro. You know what I mean? If Ty, if me and you gonna fight, right? And I say to you, yo, Ty, did you sign that contract? And you tell me, yo, Shadow, we good, bro. We good. Like if you put everything in there, we good. I'm gonna sign it, right? Just gotta have my lawyer look it over. Like who wouldn't? First off, who doesn't have their lawyer look at a contract? Who doesn't do that? Like that's what he's there for. What are you paying your lawyer for nothing? No, you don't pay your lawyer for nothing. You pay your lawyer to do lawyer shit. Well, my lawyer's gonna look it over. And then I'm like, no, just sign it. No. Are you okay though? You okay with everything I put in there? No, now I'm gonna definitely look at it. Now I'm definitely gonna look in the fine print. What did you put in there? Devin Haney gets a racetrack instead of an 18 by 18? Like what do you put in that contract? I want to know, is Turkey paying for it? Because if Turkey's paying for it, then it's a high probability that the fight will happen. Because Tio, like even if Brian Norman is with another promoter, that doesn't matter. Because from my understanding, with Tio, who was with Bob Arum, remember, he's with Bob Arum in Top Rank, or at that time, they simply told Bob, like, you'll get we want him for 3 fights. You'll get this much. And Bob said, you can have him for those 3 fights. You got to give me this per fight. Turkey's like, all right. Because he's got the money to do it. So if it's Turkey paying for it, then we'll get the fight. I do want to see the fight. But I'm telling you right now, there's a high probability that Devin Haney's going to do the same exact thing he did against Jose Ramirez if he fights Brian Norman Jr. And I do believe that if the contract is correct, Devin Haney will sign it. I don't think Devin is scary in that regard. I just think once that bell ring, I don't recall too many times Devin getting a contract and it was sent and they liked it and looked it over and he changed his mind. I've never seen that. You need to point me to a time where Devin Haney reneged on a contract. I've never seen that. I've never seen that, bro. There's one thing I'll give that kid. He'll sign that contract, he'll make weight, and he'll be there. That you can guarantee. Like, I've always said that about Devin. I never said Devin don't have heart, bro. Never said that. I think people like look at me when I talk about him like I don't give him respect for what he does, bro. He's a fighter. He gets in the ring. Of course he has heart. I just think his heart is different. Like, not all heart is the same. Certain fighters, you drop them, their heart tells them, I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to hurt you. I'm going to get that back. Devin gets dropped. He's like, I got to get up. I don't want to get knocked out because I don't want to be a meme. I don't want to be made fun of. That's a different type of heart. If you would have knocked Bud down, if you would have knocked down Virgil Ortiz, they're getting it up. They're getting it back in blood that round. Devin don't do that. Devin gets up. Yeah. He don't want to get made fun of. That Ryan Garcia fight, he was literally just wanted that fight to be over with so he could hold his head high and say, I didn't get knocked out though. And that is the very first thing he said. That's the very first thing he said was, I got knocked out. I got up though. I got up though. Of course you got up. You don't want to get made fun of. There's nothing wrong with that. It takes heart to do that. But if that was another fighter, they would have got it back in blood that round or the round after. That's what I mean when I say he's got heart. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't have no heart. And I've never seen him in a situation where the contract looked good, the money looked good, and he reneged on it and didn't show up for the fight. Never once. Devin will show up. Devin will make weight. Devin is a professional in that aspect. They are the Haney's camp is professional in making weight and showing up. And it's just once that bell rings is where I'm like, there's a disconnect. Somebody told me the other day, you shouldn't say that he was scared against Jose Ramirez. I'm like, why? He looked scared. And the dude was like, you don't know what you're talking about. You see, Bill trained him to do that. I'm like, oh. So Bill trained him to look scared? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You looked scared. Nobody trains to look scared. If you mean the game plan was to keep moving and not get hit, you can do that without doing what you did. You did that, and you looked terrified every time Jose was going to throw a punch. That has nothing to do with the training. That's what somebody tried to tell me. Bill trained him to do that. No, you can't. So you train somebody to look like they were scared to death? I have a hard time believing that. I think he trained him to move and not get hit. I think he told him to do that. But that whole looking like you terrified, literally, like when Shakur fought De Los Santos and De Los Santos did he didn't even jab. He kind of flinched and Shakur did a double jump. Shakur jumped back. He stepped almost out the ring, bro. Almost out the ring. You even had, what's his name, making fun of him? Gilly the Kid. Out of fucking Philly. Gilly and Wallow. When Gilly was talking to Clarissa Shields. Even Clarissa said, you know what? It is hit and not get hit. But you know what I notice is a lot of these guys, the man fighters that be like, it's hit and not get hit. A lot of them forget the hitting part. Y'all remember that? Is she right? I hate that. I've never agreed with Clarissa. She's right. You forget the hitting part. It is hit, not get hit. Come on, bro. Nobody wants to stand there and do this UFC slap shit. Go ahead, slap me. No, I'll slap you. You slap me, I'll slap you. Nobody wants to do that. No, you hit me, I move out the way. I hit you, I'll move out the way. I'll circle, I'll piece you up, I'll keep circling. Then I'm going to catch you and I'm going to drop your ass and I'm going to get you out of there. That's the name of the game, bro. Not, I'm going to keep moving. Oh, the 10-second bell. Oh, I got to throw something because if I don't throw something, that's not, no. That's what Turkey means. That's exactly what Turkey means when he says this. Because even Turkey, like I said, even Turkey broke it down. And Turkey was like, I'm not saying you can't rest for a round or two. I'm not saying that. You could attack, rest, throw your jab, move out the way, lay on the ropes, move out the ropes. Like Turkey was breaking it down. But at the end, he goes like this. Chasing a man is a no-no. I'm about to shut this down, but before I do, it's clear as day, bro. Like, he breaks this shit down.
It's a big problem. But this performance of the night, Buzz, who's going to decide it? You decide?
Yeah.
And what will you be looking for?
Six figure.
Wow.
Yeah. Jabbing. Tactics with the rope. Pressing in some round and some round rest. This is no problem. But if you give me for 12 rounds, chasing match. Thank you.
You can't get it more clear than that. You can't get it more clear than that. So you know he's not saying don't do defense or just drop your hands and just trade shots. He literally just said jab, circle, lean on the ropes, move out the way, take a round or two off if you need to. That's okay. That is the boxing. I mean, it is what it is, man. But yeah, bro, I hope he signs it, bro. If he does sign it, my brother, I will tell you like this. I'm going to promote the hell out of that fight. I'm going to promote the hell out of that fight. I do think it's the perfect fight for Devin. I stand by that. I think it's the perfect opponent. Why is it the perfect opponent? Because if Devin beats him convincingly, or just even it doesn't got to be convincingly. Let's say Devin goes in there and doesn't run like what Turkey just said, like Brian Norman chasing him for all fucking 12 rounds, like this man don't want to be there. Let's say Devin goes in there and actually boxes like how Richardson Hitchens did against Kambosos. That it's gonna be a good fight, right? Devin gets all that shit back. I will be the first one to be like, yo, because believe it or not, bro, I'm not a fucking hater. I don't give people respect, bro. Like, come on, bro. If T.O. did that, I'd get on T.O. I criticize T.O. even when he does good. I got no problem saying, yo, y'all was wrong about Devin last fight, bro. Devin went in there and showed us all wrong. I will be the first. I got no problem doing that. Like, I'm not the type of dude that's going to be like, damn, I got to go online and I got to say something good about Devin. No, if he deserves it, he deserves it. Like, what kind of person you think I am? Get respect, I'll give it, bro. It's just like with the trolls. Like, I give them opportunities all day long when I drop the link. Y'all act like I block you, but never give you an opportunity to say anything to me. No, you get multiple chances with me. You keep taking the fuckboy shit route. So I only got to deal with you one way. Anyway, man, I hope you have a blessed night, man. This Ghost, I'm out.